Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and gosh, we've got a puzzle within a puzzle today, very literally. I will explain that when we get there, but you can try it on the first link under the video. There are lots of other links under the video, however, in the description field, and they will lead you to various things that are going on, like our Patreon site, where Blobs' brilliant oil and water Sudoku hunt is the patron reward for the month. Do have a go at it. It's great fun. The puzzles in it are brilliant, and we urge you to give them a try. They riff on oil and water not being miscible, I believe is the word, and different Sudoku rules are combined with that constraint each time, and it's good. It's a really good sort of lesson in how the same device can be used again and again in something. There's lots of other stuff on Patreon, of course, including crossword videos and connections videos and all sorts of things that we put up there. So do check it out. It's a great puzzle club to join. There's also, of course, our apps which feature various types of Sudoku, nothing quite like today's, but the latest is Fog of War Sudoku, where you have to, of course, clear the fog by placing correct digits, and it's a brilliant self-teaching tool in a way, because the fog concentrates your mind on where you have to look in a puzzle and what deductions you have to make, and that helps you for other puzzles, fog or not. We earnestly recommend that too. Now, SVEN'S Sudoku Pad is linked as well, and so is our merchandise, but do check that out. The latest t-shirt is, of course, the Secret Squared 2025 t-shirt. We're not a band, we don't tour, but at least we have a shirt that represents one particular year. Now, what else is going on? We may well be streaming, I think, in the coming week. I don't know. Check out the live link under the video to see if we've scheduled a stream. That's my tip. I'm sure we'll be going back to the Blue Prince house when we do. Now, let's have a look at the rules of Mystery Box by Classified. And Classified's in caps. I think the author's name has been redacted. I think that's a debut for Classified, though. But let's see what the rules are. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, column, and 3 by 3 box of the main 9 by 9 grid. But the circles act as an inside grid. I can't highlight them all. That being a separate 5 by 5 Sudoku puzzle rotated 45 degrees. So that means that each row and column of this 5 by 5 puzzle will use the 5 digits that are in it, while the inside grid must only consist of 5 separate numbers, not necessarily 1 to 5. Those numbers are unknown from the start. You'll have to figure out which numbers to use. So we do get 20 given digits, but you can actually tell from the position of those 20 given digits that the 9 by 9 Sudoku is unsolvable from the start, because you could obviously interchange, for instance, columns 4, 5, and 6 if it wasn't for the blue circles. Give it a try on that first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. Let's see how we go. Well, I'm going to start in my Sudoku puzzle by looking at the Sudoku aspects of these outside digits. In fact, I might even start pencil marking. Simon calls me pencil mark, and it's meant to be a diss, but honestly, it's accurate and I don't mind it. Those digits are 3, 6, 7, 8, because that's all that remains in box 1. And actually, I can eliminate both 6 and 7 from the top one, 8 from that one, 7 from that one. That doesn't give me any definites. Down here, we've got 1, 3, 4, 5. Now, 5 is definite because it's ruled out of all of those. So this must be the 5. Then that can't be 4 and that can't be 1. That's good. So this is a 1, 3, 4 triple. And now 3 in this box, in box 9, must be in one of those two. We've got 2, 8, and 7 to place. 8 must be in one of those. Things are getting narrowed down a little bit. And then as I say that, I have to put 2 in all of those candidates, as a candidate in all of those cells, and 7 in those. So I don't think we are whittled down enough. But we do know that 3 and 8 must be in these cells, so 3 is now confined up here. And when I finish pencil marking this box, we'll look across to what that does in box 1. 3 there, 1, oh, 9 is another basically given digit in this box because it can't be there, so I can fill in 9. These are from 1, 3, 4. That can't be 1, this can't be 4. So this is what we sometimes call a chocolate teapot triple, because with 1 digit being unavailable in each cell, it doesn't actually help resolve with any of those 3 cells. So it's as useful as a chocolate teapot. Anyway, what is useful about that chocolate teapot is that there's a 3 in it, and therefore 3 can't be in these cells. Now, have we got down to any definites here? No. But look at the knock-on effect. From 3 in one of those, we now know one of these 2 is 3, and that can't be 3. And this is a chocolate teapot triple as well, but that doesn't knock on into box 9. Now, I'm conscious I've only been using the corner boxes. I've done nothing else in this puzzle, really. I haven't, very specifically, I haven't considered the inside grid. But what are? Oh, okay, look at that. Oh, lovely. Right. So I'm going to have to talk about the rows and columns of the inside grid. Am I going to describe them as diagonals or as rows and columns? I don't know. Maybe I'll just hedge on that. But this central diagonal, let's call it this central southwest to northeast diagonal, contains a 1 or a 4 there and a 1 or a 4 there. Obviously, those digits must be different in the inside grid. And then these 3 are different from 1 and 4. But the absolutely crucial thing is we now know that 1 and 4 are in the inside grid. They are 2 of the 5 digits being used. They could still be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what is the best way to deal with the inside grid? I don't see any way at the moment of me knowing what these are. I mean, actually, 1 and 4 are in the inside grid, and 2 of these digits, 2, 6, 7, 8, are definitely being used. I am wondering whether there's a better approach than pencil marking the circles, and I am suspecting that there isn't. So I'm going to try it. I know this may be just giving in to the forces of laziness or just not thinking hard enough about the puzzle, but I don't know. I think this will actually help me think about the puzzle. That's literally why I'm doing it. Those are from 1, 2, 3, 8. Actually, so's that. I mean, that's a group of 4 cells there that are 1, 2, 3, 8. On the same basis, I could make that 3, 4, 6, or 7. Okay, down in this column, 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. 7, 2, 5, 9, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. Now, what do we know? Do we know anything from the positioning of this 1 and 4? Well, no. I guess we know that in a row like this, there will be a 1 and a 4, and one of them will be in the center. So only one of the others can be a 1 or a 4. I am beginning to think that the way I've just pencil marked this might not actually have any help to offer. But let's just keep thinking about what we can either constrain into the inside grid or maybe even out of it. Because there might be something. I mean, 2 and 5 are definitely in these cells. Does that mean one of them has to be there? No. It does actually mean that both of them won't be... No, it doesn't. I was thinking it meant that both of them won't be in the set of digits. I don't think it does mean that, so I'll hold my wish on that one. 3 and 7 are there. This is from 1, 4, 6, 8, 9. I suppose these digits can't be 1 and 4, but I'm not going to pencil mark them with the other 7 digits. Even for me, that's too many to put in a cell. please don't point to a video where I did put 7 digits in a cell, because I'm sure it has happened. There's a lot of 5s and 9s that we've placed in these corner boxes, i.e. all of them have got a 5 and a 9 in. Oh, this is a very... look at this position for 5. Well, combined with this one, this is very important, I think. It shows none of these cells, and consider this as one row of the inside grid, none of them can be a 5. And I mean, the pencil marking I've done shows that. That's what I should have been using it for. None of those contain a 5, and that's because of where this is looking at that digit, and that digit, and these two. They're ruling 5 out of those. So there is no 5 in the inside grid. If there's no 5 in that row, there can't be a 5 in that inside grid, because it would have to appear in every row and column. So now I can eliminate 5 from any cell in which I pencil marked it. And now let's consider 9. I wonder if that's the same. I was going to say I bet it is, but I don't know that. These positions for 9, I'm only thinking that 9s are going to apply because there are 4 of them. Now I don't know. This 9 sees those two. This one sees that. Which cells in the inside grid are seen by a 9? I'm going to try highlighting those just because it might mean something. This one sees that. Yes, apparently all 5 of these. I could again just look at the pencil marks. None of those can be a 9. Therefore 9 is not in the inside grid. No, that only let me take 9 out of 3 cells. And we haven't condensed any cell down to a pair. But now we should look, yes, look at this group. Okay, this is slightly more advanced, I think, but it's interesting. So this group, I'm going to call it a column in the final box. I'm now shilly-shallying between diagonals and rows and columns. I can't help it. One of these has to contain a 1. Because there is a 1 and a 4 in the final grid. So it must appear in every row and column of the inside grid. And one of those two has to be a 1. And that is going to form an X-wing on the inside grid with the 1 and 4 in this central column. So you've got 1 and 4 in that column, 1 and 4 in that column. And that is going to take 1 out of any other cells in this row and this row, because you're only going to have 1 each. We know that 2 of these digits are 1s, and that's going to use up the 1s in this row and this row. So now I can take 1 out of those 2 cells. There has to be a 1 in this column, I'm calling it. Obviously my head tilts one way rather than the other, and that's either there or there. So one of those is a 1. And I don't know which way it goes. Do I? No. But that was interesting on 1s. Is there a... Yes, there's the same thing on 4s. Oh, this is clearly very deliberate. Right, there's a 4 in one of those 5 cells. And there's a 4 in one of those 5 cells, obviously, because we know about the 1-4 pair. So that means no other 4s can appear in these cells, which are in sort of the top and bottom row of the grid, if you twist it one way. So I'm going to take 4 out of these 2 cells. Now have I got any more I can do like that? Let's just look at these groups of digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. There's no 5 or 9. Yes, we've eliminated 5 and 9 from the final thing. What about 2? 2's quite interesting, actually. Let's have a look at 2. We've got those 2's marked, and that keeps 2 out of a number of cells. Now, that might not do the job. Well, hang on. If we had a 2 in the inside grid, the 2 in this row would definitely be here. That would mean this wasn't a 2. Oh, stop highlighting weird cells. What would that do? Oh no, actually, let's forget 2s for a bit. What happens with that 1 and 4 thing? Because there's a relationship between those 2 digits and between those 2. So if that was a 4, then the 4 in this row would be here. And that would be a 1. And the 1 in this row would be here. So we'd have a 1-4 pair in column 5 of the main grid. And alternatively, if that was a 4, this would be the 4 in that top row. This would be a 1, that would be a 1 in the side column, and that would be 1 and 4. So that's really strange. Either this pair of cells is a 1-4 pair or that pair. And I don't know which it is. And that didn't really help in the end, but there we go. It had to be thought about, I think. There's a 1 in one of these 2 cells. Now that doesn't mean it has to be in a circle here, because the 1 in this group of cells is in one of those 2. So the 1's in the inside grid, one of them is in one of those 3, one of them's in one of those, one of them's in one of those 2, one of them's in one of the upper 2. Where are the other ones going to go? There's going to be one of them in, well, not in that. Oh, this is going to have to, hang on. If what I'm saying is right, this has to simultaneously be both a 1 and a 4. No, I know. This is great. Look, one of those is a 1, so that can't be a 1. One of those is a 1 for that row. I don't mind which it is, that can never be a 1. I'm just going to mark it with an X for now to explain what I'm seeing here. Let's give it an X. X can't be a 1. Now, similarly, one of these is a 1 in this row of the inside grid. And that means that this can't be an X. Whichever one of those 2 is a 1, that is not a 1. But there has to be a 1 in this row, and it now has to be here. That's brilliant. I know that the same is going to work with 4s here and here. So 4 is in one of those 2 cells, so not there. Let's call it Y. 4 is in one of these 2 cells, so not there. So that must be the 4. Gosh, that's remarkable. Now, can I finish off 1s and 4s? I doubt it, because there's still ambiguity. I still don't know whether that's a 1-4 pair or that one is. Ah, it's so interesting. Now, one of these 2 is a 4. Isn't it? Yes, one of those 2 is a 4. And one of these 2 is a 4. Is that doing anything? Yes, no. The fact that one of those 2 is a 4 is doing something there, isn't it? One of those 2 must be a 4, so that can never be a 4, whichever one it is. So that's going to sort out this chocolate teapot triple. That's going to ramify down to this one, because once that's a 4 on this blue line, that has to be a 1. And the good thing about the chocolate teapot triples is as soon as you get one digit there, they're all resolved. Now, 3 can't be here. 4 can't be here. But we do need a 4 in this group of cells, so it's there. Now, 4s in this main grid probably can be resolved. In this row, it needs to be here. And the last 4 in the grid is here. Now, I knew that that was going to go opposite a 1 here, but let's just prove that again. How did we go about proving that? Oh, because we need a 1 in that row. That's it. It's very straightforward. Good. So that's now not a 1. This is not a 4. This is now 2 or 7. So at least one of those digits is in the inside grid. Oh, hang on. There's more 1s to do. That can't be a 1. So in this group, that is a 1. So now I'm going to get rid of the corner marks there. And that's now not a 1. This is the 5th one in the small inside grid. Okay. Right, now let's think about some other digit. No, let's just put a 9 in this column because I've got a 2, 3, 7 triple. That's lovely. So that's a 9. Oh, maybe I should have thought about 5s and 9s. Once I discovered they weren't in the blues, look, in column 2, that's a 5. In row 9, there's a 5 in one of those cells. In row 1, there's a 9 in one of those. There's a lot of symmetry going on here, as you would probably expect from a puzzle this interesting and clever. There's a 5 in one of those cells. I bet there's a 9 in one of those two. There is. It's just Sudoku. Now, what is this? 5 actually is in one of those two. Has this come down to, sorry, I was trying to pencil mark that. Has this come down to just being a 2? It can't be 1, 3, 4 or 9 or 5. No, I don't think it has. It was because 2 and 5 had to be in those cells. I suppose they could end up being a pair. Yeah, I don't have that information. Right, I still need to work out what is in the blue inside grid. I don't quite, 3 has always, no, 3 is now looking at that cell. So that is 6 or 8, and that is 2 or 7, and one of each of those numbers is in the inside grid. That's quite interesting. And the other of those two numbers must be in these two cells, because they must appear in this diagonal, and neither can be there. This is, well, this could be a 3, or again one of the other pairs of 2, 7 or 6, 8. I don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. Let's do a bit of pencil marking to bide my time. Oh, 5 is an X-wing. So 5 in the central box is in one of those two. I bet 9 is meant to be an X-wing as well. It is. 9 there and 9 there. So one of these two is 9. It's now a 5-9 pair. I think that means that whatever ends up in these two cells are the two digits not in blue that we haven't found for sure yet. Okay, let's say this was a 2. The 2 in this row that I'm flashing up and down would be there. Then the 2 in this row would be there. The 2 in this row would be there. And the 2 in the final row of the 5 by 5 would be there. So that works fine. So it could be a 2. I bet I'm going to find out it can be a 7 as well, but let's just think about it. If that was a 7, it's maybe not as clear cut. 7's in one of those two. One of those two. One of those two. Gosh, I don't know. This is very interesting, but I'm finding it a bit weird. Oh, 4. Is this, that can't be 4. This is definitely where 4 is. I bet I know where 1 is down here, therefore. Yes, I do, by symmetry. That's a 1, because of that being placed. So all 1s and 4s are done. They were the last 1 and 4 around. I'm still trying to come up with some rationale for knowing what the digits are in this central, in the blue, basically. What are the blue digits that aren't 1 and 4? I'm not really getting there. I have a feeling the central digit in the puzzle will be a 3, but it's only a feeling. These are from 3, 8, 9. 4, 1, 2, 1, 4. Right, no, I worked out if that was a 2, we were okay. Maybe, whatever this is, the other one out of 2 and 7 can't be in. Is that worth? Oh, hang on, here's something important. Where's 3 in this column? I don't know, but I know it's not there. So it's in a circle. So there is a 3 in the grid. Now, I was just about to write 3 into the center on the basis that it didn't appear anywhere in those cells. That is irrelevant, because that is not a row or column in the final grid. However, this one in the inside grid, this one is, and that needs a 3 in, and that does go in the center. There we go. So my hunch was right. Maybe my subconscious had figured it out. 3 is in, and therefore this column needs a 3. That has to be there. Pick the right column. This column needs a 3, and that has to be here. And I can get rid of a couple of 3s now. This column or row needs a 3, though it can't be there from the central one. So that's a 3. And that's the 5th 3 in the inside area. Okay, that's not too bad, actually. I should have been able to do that. There's a 6, 7, 8 triple, so that's a 3. Have I got all 3s in the grid? I have when I write this one in. There we go. Now 7 is definitely in one of those 2 cells. That's quite interesting. That means 7 doesn't appear here or here. One of these 2 is a 7. It's a 5, 7 pair. I don't think I've quite proved that 7 isn't a circle digit anyway yet. Although I think we're on the way. If, I don't know, again I'm looking, yeah, if 7 was, oh look, this is 2 or 7, whatever that is has to appear there to get in this column. So these are the same digit. And it's got to appear there in the middle column. And therefore it's not here by Sudoku, it's there. So these are 4 of the same and they end up here. That's not an 8 now. And by Sudoku, or on the main grid, on the 9 by 9 grid, we can place an 8 there. That's a 2. It's quite confusing moving between these 2 possibilities. But now this group of cells is 6, 8, 9. We know 9 is not in the circle. In this column, that's a 7. So 7 is in the grid. In fact, 7 is this number because we worked out it had to be there. Yeah, all of these are 7s now. 7 is in the blue grid. 2 is not. So even though 7 is down here in a white cell, 7 is in the grid. Now, this other one, this 6 or 8, is clearly that digit, and this one, and that one, and that one. And we're about to resolve what that is, I'm sure. Although I'm not sure how. That's definite 2. Let's just do the Sudoku we can do. That's a 6, that's a 7. That's very obvious now, I suppose. Central row, there's a 2 in one of those. Oh, 6 there has made this circle an 8. That means 8 needs to be in the circles. There you go. It was very clear. Sorry if that involved you shouting at the screen for a moment or two. I think we're finishing off now. This is a 5 and a 2. That's a 9 and a 5. These ones are 6 and 9. It's a very neatly done puzzle, isn't it? It's quite surprising the way it works out. They can't have an 8 in. I think I'm just putting in these pairs to start with and then working out which one of them is resolved first. 9 and 8. Well, that one is by the 8 that we placed in the central area. So the digits in the blue were 1, 3, 4, 7, 8. Not a particular set of digits, I don't think, unless you can... Oh, nearly Lucas numbers. Not quite. Anyway, there we go. 7 and a 5 here, and I think we're done. And we've solved the mystery box. Right, when you solve it, there will be a link with your solution. And that's really clever, Classified. I mean, I've sort of done puzzles with this sort of 5x5 structuring, but I've never seen them working out quite like that. Very neatly done. And we like puzzles rotated 45 degrees because, of course, 45 is a very important number in Sudoku. It's the secret, which I didn't have to share with you today because we weren't doing any maths. See you again next time. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.